Hello and welcome to Sisterskeeper, where we share our personal opinions, personal experiences on various social and casual issues that affect us and how we are going to navigate through them. In today's episode, we shall be discussing and sharing our views on the return to school in lockdown. But before we do this, I'll introduce myself. I'm Faith, and I've got Sandra and Ruth. Hello, sisters.
Hi everyone.
Hello, yeah, I'm Sandra. I'm a mother of two, and I live in Yorkshire.
And I'm Ruth. My name is Ruth. I'm from Bedfordshire. I'm a nurse, and I'm a mother of three, or four rather.
Ooh. That's lovely, ladies. So as I said, I'm Faith and I'm in Hertfordshire, mother of four. Ruth, I have more here actually. So I suppose mother of five, if you want to do it that way.
It's not a competition.
I wish they had to give trophies, but they don't give trophies, do they?
No, they don't.
No. So, Sandra and Ruth, how are you feeling about this first episode of Sisterskeeper?
I think it's just really nice that we get to just come and chill, relax like this, and talk about issues that you find are very common, not just to us, but to other ladies as well. So I'm just looking forward to a good time sharing personal opinions. It's not advice, it's not professional advice, but we're just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about you, Ruth?
Well, I'm so excited, but nervous at the same time. I hope I will be all right talking. But it's nice to sort of walk up with you girls. I'm so excited to see Sandra after a very long time. So yeah, we hope to have a good time, and hopefully, people will enjoy watching us as well.
Absolutely. So let's get into the topic of the day. We said we want to talk about return to school. Lockdown. I mean, how have you found it, girls? This has been a crazy year, but how have you found the lockdown, the back to normal lockdown again? How have you found it, and especially the return to school during lockdown?
It's been really quite a relief, to be honest, because my youngest was really getting bored sitting here at home. And she said, "Oh, Mom, I'm so happy that we're back to school." Yeah. My son was also quite happy. So yeah, it's been quite good. I mean, for the kids to be learning at home was a bit of a challenge in that, they have to be disciplined. Yeah, so it's been good. At least they get to meet up with their friends.
Yeah.
And there's a bit more sort of a routine that's there. So yeah, I don't know about you, Sandra.
Yeah, it's been a good thing, but the return of it as well, like you're saying, I'm just really grateful that none of the kids were anxious to go back to school. So that just made it a lot easier. They were excited. We were excited. So it worked out well. And I know that maybe that wasn't everybody's sort of return. Maybe other children could have been anxious. But I found our kids were just happy to go back. And it just made the transition easy.
Yeah, everyone was happy. Honestly, it was like, oh my gosh, I've got older children, so they were fed up of screen time, always learning on the screen. I wanted to go back. My little one was a bit anxious, but it was a happy anxious, because once she left and when she came back, she had all these stories that she had with her. But I think you're so right. Homeschooling.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it, to be honest. I
You
don't
know,
know.
You
I
know what?
mean, like,
There are
uh-huh.
actually people who homeschool like full time. This is what they do. So
yes,
they
and
must have
you
been
know,
looking at the rest of us and thinking, "Come on, get on with it."
Sandra, I did I don't remember what it was for, but I did like a dissertation of some sort about homeschooling. And I remember leaning more on homeschooling is not advisable. And, and then when it came on, I thought, oh my goodness, how do we do it? But it has
Mm.
confirmed, especially for me. I mean, many people say, Faith, you're a teacher. Faith, I can publicly say, guys, nah.
It's not for me.
I think what you will possibly find is maybe there's like a conflict of interest when you're teaching your own children. Maybe they look at you in a certain way, and
Yeah,
always, I don't know why, but it's an amazing thing. Again, our children seem to just regard their teachers so highly, or there's a way
much.
once they
Yeah,
go into school, they're
mm,
in that mode,
yeah.
almost like military. I'm like, okay, if this teacher could live in my house, we could just have very good organization.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
You
mean
know,
the teachers are amazing, aren't they? When you look at it, I think it made me realize that, teachers are important. I mean,
that,
like, it was quite difficult as well, sort of trying to keep up with. I don't know about you guys, like Sandy, you've got younger kids, but with my kids, they will say, "Oh, Mom, I've done my homework," like, and they were only sort of maybe learning for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. They've done their work, and all I just had to do was just to check on their diary to see if the work is done. And sometimes the school would email and say, she hasn't done her homework. But I must say, with the last lockdown, homeschooling was made a little bit more structured, especially for my kids, here
but
in
the
Luton.
willpower, Ruth. So although it was structured, but the willpower had gone down compared to the first lockdown, where we were all sort of ready, break times, printing timetables, and
Of
this
course.
last one, it was like, oh,
I think it became really unexpected in a way because there was that promise from the government for them not to go into another lockdown. But
yeah,
obviously, we had to go into it. So when it came, felt caught unaware,
yeah.
unprepared in a way. So that was really quite hard. So Ruth, tell me something. When you got that email, or was it a phone call from school?
It was an email, and then there was a phone call as
Oh
well.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Bad
No,
teacher,
my
Ruth.
kids are good. My kids are good, I promise. But yes, it was maybe one or two occasions where they hadn't done their work. I mean, it's hard, isn't it, when you're working and then you have to homeschool the children, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's quite a challenge. I don't know how do you find working and looking after the children, especially during the lockdown? Have you guys been working or not?
Yeah, I've been working, so that was really quite hard. Yeah, that was really quite hard trying to balance work and then doing homeschooling at the same time. So what we ended up doing sometimes was I had to get on with work, and then sometimes even just sharing the computer as well when my son needed
Yeah.
to be on the laptop. That was quite hard,
Did
and
you
I
get
needed
the
to be
naughty letter,
on Teams.
Sandra? Or
What's
did you
that?
get the naughty teacher letter?
So that's what I was trying to ask Ruth to say. How did that make you feel? And she just moved away from that quickly. When,
Well, actually,
yeah,
I was just disappointed with my daughter, really,
right,
because to be honest, I do ask if they've done their work, or before. Do you know what I mean? Like, because sometimes you feel like you're too pushy.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing, and then you give them the leeway to actually do their work. Without checking. Sometimes you do a long day shift, and then you come back home, you're so tired. Just ask, have you done your work? And then if they say, oh yes, yeah, did my work, and you just take their word for it.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, because of that, yeah, I can't say I felt like I'd failed as a mother.
And the mother teacher.
If that's what you're looking for, Sad, I think during the last lockdown, I was okay with them learning something, if you know what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
We also got the call from school. So embarrassing to say, honestly, because I don't know, Ruth. For me, I really struggled to separate that call. It wasn't a call for my son. I felt that was a call for me
Oh, bless you. Of
and
course.
my husband, and you just really feel like, oh no, I've let my son. And we had every good reason as to why we were struggling to keep up with work. He's working full time. I'm working full time. Um, we would do work with him later, but we also just let go of things because it was so much easier to do it that way. And being really honest, my little one is not the pleasure to teach that the teacher has said he is in his reports. We had fun later on when we worked it out, but honestly, it was hard.
It's hard, isn't it? Because when you get the phone call, like you're saying, it's almost as if the teacher is saying, "Mom and Dad, where are you?"
Which
You
is
know?
true though, right?
Yeah.
It is true, but come on. I mean, it's been hard to put them down and say, do this work, to actually maintain a normal day. I think first lockdown, I was maintaining a normal timetable. I was like very militant, it's 9:15, it's whatever. But I should always say things like snack time. Have you noticed that snack time would just end up being more than 15 minutes to
Oh,
like
yeah.
an hour or 2 hours,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing that happened for us as well was we actually had the opportunity to send the children to school. So we had a letter from husband's work to say his kids are entitled to go to school. He's a key worker, basically. And so we had that little bit of drama going on where I then said I didn't want the kids to go to school and that I would be able to
Were you
handle
enjoying teaching them at home?
Do you know what? I don't know. Tell me, girls, is it poor parenting? Is it not quite helicopter parenting? But I actually wanted the kids at home. I mean, 2 weeks into it, I thought, should have sent these little rascals to school.
I felt the same. I got the letter, could take my kids to school, and I thought, oh no, bonding time, need them here. And it was like 2 weeks after, I'm thinking, it's time to send them back. And the school realized it, that I think many parents wanted to send their kids back. And the school then sent an email saying, no, those who are here, and those who are not here, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how did you find the uniforms? Were your kids' uniforms fitting?
Wow, actually, Zara, my daughter's one, it fits. It did. I was pleasantly surprised. Really, really surprised. Because I was like, oh, I was actually prepared to go and buy some stuff from the local supermarket. But yeah, hers fit quite well. It's like he never left school.
I think most schools have given a leeway. I mean, ours did. Their children can come in PE kits and school colors, but
Yeah, that's what our school did as well. Actually, just my son's school and then high school for my daughter, they're a bit different. They wanted them to come in full school uniform. So it was actually quite good again because he was just able to go in his PE kit. I don't think he fits into his old uniform, but for my daughter as well, she's a teenager, and I looked at her trousers and I said to her, I think we might need to buy new trousers, and she said no.
The tighter the
These
better.
are perfect. Tighter thing. And I'm thinking, wow. So you then start realizing, okay, is my age showing? Is my
growing pains? But have your kids have they had to do the COVID test and to sort of bring home the COVID test?
Oh yes, I mean my children they had to have a COVID test before they started school, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they're testing them twice a week?
Have they not brought them home?
No, mine hasn't, but I think you've got an option too. Well, I've got 3 of them. I get emails from all of them.
Okay.
And I know one of them, they've said that they're gonna give us the lateral flow test that they can do at home.
Okay.
So yeah, that should be good.
Not brought home the lateral flow test.
So that's just come in today. So we are going to be doing that next week. But the good thing though is they've been testing in school.
Yeah.
So she's sort of used to it. But again, like I was saying before, they behave differently than they do at home. So I'm just hoping it's not going to be. So yeah, got the whole instructions to read through. I've had a COVID test done, but I haven't done it on somebody else. So wish me luck.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And
It's actually quite interesting as well that they've trusted the children to actually bring the tests home. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a good thing because we also had the same. We at work we were given lateral flow tests to do at home.
Right.
And I guess it gives you that reassurance as well, isn't it? And just lowering the rate of infections. If people find that they're positive, then they don't go to school or work, which is quite good, really.
It is. I mean, I was saying that I saw on Facebook that they were talking, some people's kids went to school, for example, on the Monday, on the 8th, and by the 10th, people had been returned because some children had tested positive.
I know, I was so disappointed to hear that, but not surprised.
Yeah, disappointed for that parent,
No, really disappointed about the whole system. Then I was thinking, should we have vaccinated the children first if they're going to go back to school? Do you know what I mean? Because they started doing it from the top down, but then the kids that have been released out are starting to
are the little COVID carriers.
Yes.
So, yeah. I hear you, Faye. Yeah, but it's. I think this is where the vulnerability of it is coming into play or into place, and they say children can deal with it, or actually maybe they don't carry it as much as us. I don't.
As bad as us. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But I see the sense in that, Ruth. What you're saying is they've let out people who haven't been protected, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least we hope the teachers are.
I think most of them are.
Yeah.
Which is where the beauty of then testing the adults first is, because of the bubbles, isn't it? So the bubbles work well when people adhere to them.
Absolutely. And have you guys been vaccinated?
Absolutely.
Against COVID?
I haven't had mine yet. Just still waiting for that text message to come through. Yeah. So my age doesn't allow me at the moment.
You're not that young, Sandra. You're not that young.
Don't burst my bubble. So I was reading in the news today, and there's a debate on whether to make the Easter break shorter. So, because people want to just cook. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
As in making it shorter, meaning
the kids are at home for
have been out. Yeah, they've been out in school for a long time.
One day, Easter Friday, Monday, they're back.
I quite enjoy spending time with my kids. I mean, I've got 2 children who are not at home. So literally, I am counting down the days to when we're all here together. So I'll be disappointed, but I can see the sense in that the kids need to catch up with schoolwork and stuff. So yeah, I hope we can stay a little bit longer.
They need to go in like announcing that then.
No, it's just a debate. It's just stuff that's going around. They're not making it shorter, but it's just a debate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, shorter summer break might be something on the cards.
well, about the summer, there is plans, I think, for children who have missed out. There must be a plan for them to be able to go back
Mm.
into. And
And how are you feeling about that, Sandy?
I, do you know, it's a little bit like giving birth. You give birth
Uh-huh.
and you're like, I'm never going to do this again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now I like you, I am looking forward to Easter break. I want the children at home for the
Mm-hmm.
full 2-3 weeks and let them be home. I personally, I keep being reminded by people who have much older children, like children who are adults, like they're like enjoy them whilst they're younger, and I'm
Absolutely.
starting to see it now. So I'm welcoming the 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Will I be the sweetest mommy throughout those 3 weeks? No.
We'll see.
Will they be sweet?
Yeah.
Not putting that on them, but I'm definitely welcoming 3 weeks at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because when the kids go back to school, it puts also another level of pressure on you. You know, there
Mm.
is the routine, there is the lunch, there is the PE kits, and
Yeah.
you know, so
Mm.
it does become a break, doesn't it? Like we're saying,
Yeah.
when you've got younger children, it even impounds more on you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the lockdown has also been displayed quite a big factor, I guess, in terms of the mental health and well-being of our children, isn't it? I mean, there was a time when I was sort of feeling, what can I do to just make them, feel good about themselves? The fact that they don't have friends to play with, you try and engage with them more, but they want to just watch their TV or want to talk to their friends.
Yeah.
So I guess that was just actually one of the issues, and I'm quite happy that I know some kids, they find school harder,
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely it's good to interact with other kids physically.
For their
So
yeah.
that's, yeah, absolutely, it's been good for their well-being.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to talk
That's
about that as
oh,
well and say,
go on. Yeah.
oh, sorry.
Go
I
on,
was just
babe.
going to talk about that and say well-being TikTok.
Mm.
I suppose.
Isn't it funny how the kids play these days, like I sometimes when my kids are on the phone for too long, I'm thinking, no, that's too much. And then I think of all the days when we were at home, when we would spend probably 3/4 of the day when you're outside playing. So it's all this adjusting that you have to do, and trying to keep on top of it and stuff. I don't know about how you guys feel about that screen time.
That's a new challenge, Ruth. Like you're saying, I didn't have a phone until I was about 18, 19. And it was only the Nokia phone. It didn't have that many games. It wasn't that very open to, didn't have that much internet access actually on it. It was a phone to text and to call,
Yeah.
and that's it. And to maybe play that little snake phone, that snake phone game.
Oh yes, yeah.
So this is a whole new world for our parenting generation, and I think that's something that the lockdown taught me, was to really to just try and have conversation with the children, trying to find ways and times of doing that. And like we're talking about working, we needed to work. We still need to pay our bills, and then sometimes you find, unfortunately, you drop the ball, and before you know it, your child is on an iPad or playing games for hours on end. But it's always good to check that, because again, that's something that we were all not very much maybe clued on to, like mental health growing up, especially in children, can be so overlooked quickly. Faye, yeah, you were going to say something about that.
Well, no, I mean, I was just going to add on to really just say, I find this when they come back from school, that I'm sort of thinking, okay, so you've been in school, what have you been doing? I want you to chill, talk to me, or even go outside for more fresh air, do exercises for their well-being, because
Yeah.
it's very easy, especially for us to be on top of our own well-being and self-care routines, and we forget the children.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have to understand, like we've just come from saying, that their well-being is actually on the gadget, TikToking and playing games.
Mm. Yeah, ideally would probably want them to read books or things like that, isn't it?
But who flips pages besides I flip pages, Now they're on Kindle, again they're on the screen. Now they're,
Yeah.
whatever it is, it's mostly done on the screen, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
Tell
It's
me,
funny.
both of you, because you guys have older children. I know I've got an older one who's just emerging into
we're
a
not that old, Sandra.
teenager. I know. I'm just trying to. I know. I love playing that card. But you do have older children. Embrace it.
Oh yes.
So so the question was about returning from school when they come back from school. You said you asked them, like, how has school gone? Do you actually get responses back? How do you guys deal with that? How do you tackle that?
So my boys, because they're older, they will sort of verbalize it. School was, I mean, it's usually the same sentence. I've asked them to try and change it a bit, because it's usually fine, 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 all right. My little one, however, it varies. By the time it's and I've asked her not to do that, to actually verbalize how school has been. At times she's got stories forever. So because of their age, I find that
Differences, yeah.
responses are quite varied, and depending if I'm working, because at times I'm actually working when they come in. So that also is, a factor.
Yeah, I definitely ask my kids how school was, and yeah, sometimes you get a response, sometimes you don't. But I mean, I've had instances where my daughter was sort of not happy at school, or she managed to express that. So yeah, but otherwise it's usually oh yeah, it was all right, Mom. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, nothing much really.
Finding the same thing, and I found maybe sometimes, as a parent, you obviously want to know what's gone on in school. But what I have learned now is, she's just come back from school. Give her a bit of time sometimes, and not to ask the same question, and maybe not to even ask sometimes until later on in the day. It's like playing cat and mouse, and I'm like, why? Honestly, all I just want to find out is how the day has been. But I found asking her when she's more relaxed,
okay,
sort of like helps, and then I get a bit more conversation. And then with my son, sometimes it can just be like, it can be like 2 words, and then it's digging in there, and because he's still little, can roll him on the floor and tickle him and say, come on, tell me. And then we can have a conversation going. But yeah, it's interesting when they decide to talk, when they're in the right space, how much they let off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Will you be trying to find out something, Sandy, or is it just mainly are you worried about the kids being at school, or?
It's actually just wanting to know what's going on. I love the mental health awareness that's been out, and I'm very much aware of it. I'm not scared something is going to happen, but I'm thinking I want to be involved. I want to know. I want to be able to pick up little signs and little things of things going on. So to be honest, there is a bit of that drive at the back of my mind pushing me to say, ask those questions. Who did you talk to today? What was the highlight of the day? Which teacher said something funny? What did you not like in school?
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
So I do try and probe, but yeah, like I said, it's not easy trying to get that information out of them. Sometimes they can go, stop, Mom. And sometimes it just ends there. Or on days when I'm feeling really pushy, or if I found a way, then we can really go into the full conversation. But yeah,
Oh, this has
That's
been
why I asked, just to
so
know.
fantastic, girls. I've totally enjoyed this, this chat. And I don't know, Sandra and Ruth, if you wanted to say anything, and then we can wrap this. I've totally enjoyed hearing your thoughts on the return to school in lockdown.
Yeah, it's just been nice. That'll be very interesting to hear how everybody else has coped. Everyone's story is different, so I'd absolutely love to hear, whether it be in comments and things like that, how people have coped, what's happened for them during the return to school.
Yeah, true.
Oh, it's been nice actually talking to you girls. I had a fantastic time. Thank you. And
Brilliant.
it's good to be on the Sisterskeeper.
Yeah.
Bring it on, baby.
We truly are.
That's
So
it, yeah.
fantastic, ladies. Thank you so much, sisters. And till next time,
Till
see
next
you on
time.
Sisterskeeper.
Oh,
Bye.
yeah. Bye. Bye.